Hi everyone, welcome back to our podcast. The problem is not the real problem.
So Crystal, what is the problem today?
Today we're going to talk about change.
Oh, change.
Yes.
What kind of change are we talking about?
Change like, are you afraid of change? Are you someone who is, prefer to stay status quo and, refuse to, make any changes in life or make any big decision? Yeah, so that's the change you're going to talk about.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. I used to be that person, very afraid of changes, but I didn't know. Really, I tell you, people who are afraid of changes, right? They don't really know.
I agree.
They just want to do whatever is comfortable for them every single day.
True.
Everything needs to be predictable.
Yeah.
So, but right now, right, I am in a very different state.
You're comfortable with change now.
I'm very excited with changes. Seriously.
That's good.
It sounds crazy, right? Because it's the mentality. I always, nowadays, I feel that if any changes, it is for better. And I'm very confident. I am so confident.
Very positive.
Yes, I'm very confident that it is always for the better. But previously, when I encounter any change, right, I'm always like, oh no, that's not comfortable. Don't take me out from my comfort zone. I'm okay to do more. You ask me to do more in my current responsibility. I'm good. Just don't change it. But I had to go through so many changes in my life. And all these changes in the stages, right? They are huge changes.
Yeah.
No kidding. But they are all very painful changes. Really. Yes.
Because back then your mindset wasn't so positive, right?
Yes.
And I believe that back then you probably feel that I don't want to change.
No. And I always feel that any change is for the worst. Is to take me out, and I'm not sure if any changes is for better or worse. So I always have this. I used to have this mentality. I must prepare for the worst. But do you realize a lot of people are like that? I'm very sure some of you are like that.
Yes.
Always prepare for the worst. No need. Seriously, don't.
That's why most people would, focus on the negative side first. It's like, what if? What if I fail? What if I make the wrong decision? What if it doesn't suit me?
And the other thing, some of us, right, we like to portray ourselves as what? Oh, I'm a problem solver. What does that mean?
You encounter all sorts of problems for you to solve.
Problem. Yeah. So that is also part of, encountering changes.
Yeah.
Because when this comes to you, right, you just like, oh my God, another problem. Oh my God, another problem.
Yeah. And actually change is not that scary.
It is not.
Because if you think about the good thing about having a change, it can brings you to a better place, brings you to meet better people.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people will feel that, change is so scary. I don't know what's out there. Everything is unknown to me. What if? But I feel that it's very, very important that you stop feeling that way. Because once you start feeling the kind of fear and, I just don't know what to do, the unpredictable stuff, blah, blah, blah.
You're going to lose sleep.
Yeah, and it's going to affect your emotions and probably your physical as well.
For sure.
Yeah. So how do we deal with change?
I think first and foremost, it's very important to tell yourself changes are not always bad. Okay?
Embrace change.
Correct. In fact, now, like I told you, right, now I feel that any changes is always for better. Always for better. It's almost like, you visualize this, okay? It's almost like you're so comfortable in the room, air conditioned, everything beautiful. and then somebody wants to change the environment for you and tell you, I need you to step out of the door. They'll be like, no, I'm very comfortable already, don't. Even though the aircon is like freezing you up and you don't have any extra cardigan, but you're like, oh, but it's okay, it's so comfortable. But can you imagine just going out, right? Maybe just step out and it's just some very comfortable warmth of the sun. And there's a piece, a huge piece of like, garden, nature. You see butterflies, you see flowers. The kind of feeling it actually brings to you. And then it comes with a little bit of breeze. Can you feel that feeling now?
Yeah.
So is it a bad change? To me, it's not. I can literally feel and see myself in that kind of environment now.
Yeah.
And it's so calming. And I would probably tell myself, hey, I should just step out a bit earlier. It's so beautiful. So you need to embrace change with this kind of mentality. It is not always bad.
Yeah.
It is better. It's for the better. Even if you lose something, it is for the better.
Yeah. And I actually learned this, I would call it a mantra to me, that everything happens for its best.
Yes.
Yeah. So regardless what kind of change that you are encountering, it is always for the best. Yeah. And I always believe that, change is to help us grow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Changing your mentality is also something that is very important. For example, let's talk about perhaps physically. Everyone wants to, whether you can say that, oh, no, I don't want to, it's okay, I'm very comfortable in my body, of course. But most people will feel that, hey, what if I can look a bit better? What if I can be a bit slimmer? What if I can have a bigger muscle? You have all this what if, right? I also had that before, working out, and I was like, what if, I have a nicer belly, a tummy, or six pack, what if this and that? But then I start to embrace this different mindset that I am physically strong, so it becomes an affirmation and mantra. I am physically strong. I have the energy to sustain an endurance sports. And while doing endurance sports, right, it actually trains my mind to feel good. So especially when we're doing sports or running or cycling, you just keep going into an unknown ground. You keep going forward, going forward. So this is the kind of mentality that is good to have.
Yeah.
It may not be bad. It may take you to a nicer place, a better place. So similarly, if, let's say at work, your boss want to give you something else, want to give you a change in your job, always ask yourself, feel about it first. Sometimes right, I feel it's very important to feel and ask the first initial feeling. The initial feeling is, bad. The intuition, that sixth sense, the gut feeling.
Yes, intuition.
That gut feeling tells you that, no.
Yeah.
Oh, then you just know, don't do it. But sometimes, right, we are actually very excited about the change at that split second.
Yeah.
And then the logic came. Your logic may be the kind that, I'm afraid of changes. Okay? Then you'll be starting like, oh, what if, you ask me to change the job scope and then I need to do this, then I need to do that. And I'll get home a bit later on certain days, or I'll need to work from home a bit more. I don't think I can manage this kind of change. That's how you actually talk yourself into not doing something better.
Actually, what you said here is very true. Because the first instinct, the first feeling, right, once you hear change, that's usually the true
most accurate
feeling. Yeah. Thereafter, the logic will start to come in and tell you that, oh no, this is not safe. You're going to get out of a comfort zone. Blah 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 blah. But I believe that everybody, right, has that small little voice that will tell you that, hey, it's actually okay, it's actually safe.
You just choose to mute.
So
mute it.
When you are feeling unsure whether this change is good or not, just believe that it's for the better. It's for its best. And if you need time to digest, can do so.
I think very importantly also, when the change is going to happen, never ever feel that, oh, no choice, I have no control, I just need to do it, so what can I do? There's nothing I can do about it.
That is so negative.
Correct. But rather, so if you really have no control over the change that is going to happen, right? It can be at work, it can be in school, it can be at home. Just think about this. Just think about it and say that, yeah, I'm glad that this change is coming. It is for the better. It will make everything better than now.
Yeah.
So
if you can't change, mindset.
Yeah, if you can't change, then say this to yourself. It will help. And after you say it, right, take a deep breath and tell yourself, it is better now. Seriously.
Yeah.
You may think I'm bullshitting, but trust me, it works.
It works.
Okay.
100% and all the time.
Yes. So I do a lot of, like, when I don't feel good, or I just want to relax, I just tell myself, okay, just take that few minutes just to do affirmation and feel. It's just appreciating things around me, appreciating people around me, appreciating myself. It is so important. And making some changes in your life is also very important to acknowledge and thank yourself for accepting that change. By doing that, right, I actually have been doing that for the past 2 years. Because I start to embrace change, I start to look forward to changes. I feel very excited about changes, right? So I actually talk to myself a lot. I'm not bonkers. I just talk to myself a lot and say that, hey, Winnie, good that you did this change. You appreciate yourself, seriously. The self-appreciation, it just takes you to the next level.
Correct.
Because you're not waiting for someone or your boss to come and tell you, hey, good job. You know what, if your boss forget to say, because he or she is busy, then you'd be like, what? Wow, this kind of boss. Never appreciate me.
Never rely on somebody to give you love.
Yes.
Always give love to yourself.
Yes. I'm very glad I really did this.
The most important process of self-love. Yeah. And if you're constantly, seeking love or appreciation from somebody else, you will never be satisfied.
And it's also very important. This applies to everything, okay? We always say about your tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe, correct?
Yeah.
So similarly, if you are someone who probably low-key wants to have some changes, but then you're afraid of changes, right? Imagine you vibe or you mingle with people who are resistant to changes.
Yeah.
They have the same hairstyle for the past 30 years. They have the same dressing for the past 40 years. So how you expect? You will also do the same, right?
Yeah.
You won't want to have any changes at all. So, and also for people who, they may be your very old friends, long time friends or whatever not, but then they are not comfortable with your change. They start to say things about you in front of you or behind you.
Yeah.
I tell you this, time to change.
Correct. And change is really nothing to be afraid of.
Yes.
Just, embrace it and believe that everything happens for its best.
Good. Yes.
Yeah.
And I
it's for the
always
better.
feel changes are exciting. Really, for the past 2 years, I have been feeling this thing. Changes are exciting. And it just always get better.
Yeah.
I tell you, you can sense that I'm speaking with a lot of enthusiasm because I'm just so excited about changes now.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to speak to me like maybe 5 years ago, right? I'll be the most no-ball person to talk about change. It's just scary to me. It's just so freaking scary to me.
I dare not even imagine.
Yeah. So if anybody, and I was like quite passive-aggressive, or maybe she will not agree. She thinks I was full of fawns back then. So if you were to force me to do any changes, right, I think I would just tell the person off right in the face.
F off.
Yeah. But now it's no. It's like, okay, and I always rely on my gut feeling. The first initial feeling.
Yeah.
It will tell you. Do you know psychometric test, right? when they give you like a few hundred questions. So, but you have time frame to complete. And it always go by sections. How many questions, right? So actually what it's trying to drive out is trying to get your gut feeling, the first initial reaction, the response.
Oh.
Yes, you're supposed to respond to all the question, read, immediately click, read, click. So that's why it doesn't give you a lot of time.
Okay.
So that's how it actually gets the real you out, personality
Wow,
test.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Well, so
Remember, changes is never scary. It's scary if you refuse to change.
So it's like, why would you stay in a very edgy, nervous and full of anxiety about what's going to happen next? Why not just embrace it and just feel very positive about it?
There's something else I can think of that I've been reading off from one of the Facebook group. So it is for single parents. So and I've been there as an experienced parent to sort of like give them some advice, because I've been there, I've been there and I've got myself to where I am now, happy, contented. Life is great. So I thought it's very important to pay it forward, to do this. Then I always see people are very afraid of what if, so now I'm being forced to divorce. So what's next? I'm so afraid of the future because now they are forced to have some changes in their life. And many a times, right, the positive voices only come from the mummies who have already gone through it. And then they start to tell, hey, it's really not that scary. Before you knew it, it's over. The worst is over. And you start to realize that, wow, life is great. Having a chance to have a fresh start is perfect.
Yeah.
So if you are stuck in an abusive relationship, abusive marriage, and you just feel that I don't dare to change, I want to stay because I'm afraid my next partner will be worse. What if your next partner is a lot better? Have you thought about that? So if you are going through things like that, it may not be just physical abuse. It can be verbal abuse, mentally abusing you. It's very important that you should not let yourself just stay at where you are.
Agree.
Because one day, right, in fact, I think some of you are already in that situation. You're already in that depression mode. So if you're not going to help yourself, nobody can help you. There are so many other channels of help out there, But first, we must always help ourselves. Similarly, if you want to have certain change, good change in your mind, in your life, you need to change your mind about changes. It is for the better. It is for the best.
At the end of the day, you need to be more confident with yourself, and have a lot of some self-awareness that you are going to enter a different phase of your life, and just be, very positive. And
how I actually achieve this is that I start to give quality time to myself, spending time for myself. No, I don't need to spend money, go to the mall and buy myself expensive gifts, or go out and have some fancy meal. It's not. It's just being about spending that 5 minutes silent and just keep quiet, meditate. So if meditation sounds very is very
strange,
some of us some feel that it's very strange, it's very
out
intrusive.
of your,
It's literally, meditation is just literally spending some quiet time for yourself, within yourself. Just keep quiet for that 5 minutes, for the 10 minutes, or for an intuitive period of time till you're comfortable. Because when you're quiet, you're silent, right? There's a lot of things going on in your mind that you refuse to address, you refuse to talk about it. But when you're silent, you will feel that you realize there's a conversation going inside. You seriously have a agent.
That's one way of by listening to your own inner voice. Yeah. There's actually another way of managing that, that uncertain feeling. What I did recently was I recognize that I have some negative feeling, that I am full of anxiety, I'm nervous, and I'm so afraid of something. And I just, recognize all this feeling, and I accept that this is how I am feeling now. And then I surrender all my problems, all my, uncertainty, all the negativity about my feeling, right? I surrender to the universe. Or I just surrender to my, spiritually, I would say, I surrender to my higher self. I let you handle all my problems. And amazingly, after surrender all this feeling, right, the next moment I feel so peaceful.
Yeah, really.
Because I know and I'm aware that all my problems will be well taken care of. So I don't even need to feel that way anymore. But and then I just focus on the good things that is going to happen. So this is how I manage any negative emotions that I have.
So there's another way which is very applicable to people who are very hands-on, who are very visual. That is to write it down. So what she says exactly right. So you need to acknowledge that all the negative feelings. So write down all the negative feelings that you're feeling on a piece of paper. Okay. So once you have written it down, so hold on to the paper, and then tell this universe, I'm giving all these negative feelings away. And what you do is then you give it to universe, take care of it. And in exchange for all the positive things, then you start to speak to yourself all the positive things. You can write it down too. But the negative paper, right? So what you can do, I've actually done this before. Fold it up, fold it inward. Okay, keep it inward so you don't see it anymore, and burn it away. So
that's one way.
Yeah. So it's really kind of like ritually you are doing it and saying that off you go, negativity. I burn you off.
Yeah.
Then you keep all the positive to yourself for yourself. If you like to write it down and keep it somewhere that you carry it, So you are always like looking at it, if your purse, take it out and flash it and you feel, happiness.
Yeah.
That's very good for people who are very visual.
True. That is very useful, in fact. Yeah. So just write down all your fears and whatever that you're not comfortable with. And then in the next paper, a fresh new paper, just write down all the things that you want to achieve, or the things that you feel that it should be happen that way, in a good way, in a positive way. Then the negative paper, just throw it off,
burn it, crush it.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. You want to destroy it, up to you.
If you don't want to burn, really, just crush it, throw it in the bin. So at least it's significantly, you need to show yourself you are throwing all this thing away. It's just gone with the wind, it's just gone in the rubbish chute.
Yeah. But always use a present tense in your I want paper.
Yes.
Or rather, don't say I want, just say I am, or you already achieve. Yeah.
And be thankful about it. Okay, so really there's nothing fearful about changes. All right, change has never been a negative word at all.
Yeah.
So just take this from us, take this from me, who used to be someone who's so freaking frightened of changes. Now I'm just so excited about whatever change that is coming.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it for you today, and stay tuned to us and for our next episode. And where can you find us?
Okay, so we are on Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn. We also have a blog as well.
Right.
So our social media handle is Connected Soul SG, which you can find it over here. Yeah, so we will
find us on YouTube also if you like to watch us instead of listening.
Yes, so please subscribe to us and just follow us on social media so that you can always get the latest updates from us.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's all for today. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.